Fran, this is the traditional 6 furlong start, Marble Hill, Guineas weekend, and the one thing that's very obvious from here is the steady climb from the get-go.
It is, Dave, yeah, it's a fair stiff test here to Curragh, especially over the 6 furlong track, dead straight, but you do have quite a rise in the first 3 furlongs. As you can see, you're on a steady climb, but when you get to the 3 furlong marker, there's a slight downhill run that just allows you to get a breather into your horse before you meet the uphill finish in the last furlong. But the biggest key here, Dave, with the 6 furlong start is stalls position. If the stalls are on the stand side, tight to this rail, draw becomes all important. You need to be drawn high, as tight as you can get to that. It's a big advantage. You can see the way the track just gradually slopes down, and if you're in a low number stall, you've got a lot of running to do against basically the side of a hill to get across and get to the leaders. And equally, if the stalls are in the middle of the track, that negates that slope, and then the race really comes down to where the pace is rather than the stall number.
And the one thing that's pretty obvious as well, as soon as the gates open, is that you're climbing. It's not noticeable from the 5, but definitely from the just after the 4 pole, you can just see how noticeable there is a little bit of a rise, but you're rising the whole way. It plateaus around the 4 pole, it rises again.
It does, and that's where the pace is key. If you've gone hard in the early fractions of the race, you get to between the 4 and the 3 furlong marker. If you're not able to get a little breather into your horse, if you're on the speed, you won't get home. You'll meet that rising ground going to the furlong pole, and that's where your energy levels will become all important. And if you've done too much through the midsection, you will not see it out of the Curragh.
So Fran, we're kind of at the halfway stage for the 6 furlong races, coming up to the halfway stage for the 5 furlong race, and again, which isn't decipherable as you're watching the race in the stand, you just begin to race slightly downhill from the 3 pole.
You do, Dave. When you get to the 3 here, you can see the way it just slightly runs down to the 2 furlong marker, and this is when the pace really begins to increase. You've gone quick probably for the first furlong of your race initially, but then the race settled down into a rhythm where everybody's got their position. But from now onwards, everybody's trying to get going, get a bit of momentum up and look for maybe a bit of space. But this little downhill run just really puts the pace into the race, and that should, in theory, that bit of momentum gain there, get you up the hill to finish out your race strongly.